What's up everybody? Welcome to the very first video of 2019. I hope you guys had a fantastic new year. As you can see, this very first video of the year is coming to you not from Eisei-en, but from all the way on the opposite side of the planet in Japan. There are three reasons that I'm in Japan right now. Number one, I needed a vacation. I spent about 250 days on the road teaching around the world last year, and every waking moment that I was at home, I was building Eisei-en so we could open in September last year. So I took this many days off in 2018, which means I need to start out 2019 with a vacation. So about a week ago, my wife Nancy and I arrived in Japan. We traveled around the southern island of Kyushu, and here are a few highlights from that. The second reason that I'm in Japan is to help my oyakata, Fujikawa-san, prepare trees for the upcoming Kokufu 10. So I'm going to show you guys what that process is like in an upcoming video. The third and final reason that I'm here in Japan is because Nancy and I are going to be hosting our annual Kokufu 10 Bonsai Tour, where we take a group of people from around the world, we travel around Japan and go to the Japanese National Bonsai Exhibition, the Kokufu 10, up in Tokyo in early February. So of course, again, I'm going to take you guys on that ride as well. But before we do any of that, I thought it'd be interesting for this very first video of the year to talk a little bit about the connection between the indigenous religion of Japan, Shinto, and bonsai. And what better place to do that than the Shinto island of Miyajima? Known as one of the three most famous views of Japan, Miyajima is a small island off the coast of Hiroshima in western Honshu. The island's most famous attraction is its floating Grand Torii Gate, which serves as the official entrance to Itsukushima Shrine. At nearly 17 meters in height, the Grand Torii is constructed with decay-resistant camphor tree trunks, its current iteration having been erected in 1875. On the shoreline just beyond the gate lies Itsukushima Shinto Shrine. Originally constructed in the 6th century, the shrine's current structure dates from the mid-16th century and is dedicated to the Shinto god of seas and storms. In addition to Itsukushima Shrine, the entire island of Miyajima is considered sacred. In order to preserve the purity of the island, no one is allowed to be born or to die on the island itself. So pregnant women who are in their last few weeks of pregnancy and elderly folks who are on their way out will be boated across the bay over to Hiroshima. This helps maintain the purity of Miyajima as a Shinto location. Pretty interesting. As a further indicator of the island's sacred purity, the native deer population on Miyajima is allowed to roam freely through the streets, pestering shop owners and visitors alike. So you're probably wondering by this point, what's the connection then between Shintoism and bonsai? Well, in order to figure that out, we've got to go way back in history and look at the origins of Shintoism as the animistic indigenous religion of Japan.
The roots of Shintoism can be traced to Japan's prehistoric origins as an agrarian society. Local rites and rituals emerged across Japan as propitiations to a host of deities in hopes of receiving good weather and better crop yields. And while most modern Japanese don't actively practice the religion, the influence of Shintoism throughout Japanese history remains apparent in the nearly 80,000 shrines dotted across the country.
As an animistic religion, Shinto endows locations of natural beauty such as large trees, waterfalls, and boulders with spiritual meaning. In other words, those locations are said to be the homes of local deities. Now, one such location that has that spiritual importance here on Miyajima is at the top of Mount Misen, which is the highest peak on the island. It's what's known as an iwakura, which translates to boulder seat of the gods, meaning that it's a very large boulder which has been endowed with a local spirit that is said to protect those living on the island. So let's head to the top of Mount Misen and check that out. One thing you'll notice if you come to Miyajima is that a majority of the red pines on the island have been completely wiped out. This is due to an insect infestation several years ago. So all that's left are these stumps and several trunks that are poking up through the canopies of the deciduous trees below, but they're all dead.
It's unfortunate that scenes such as these, which inspired the paintings and poetry of 15th century literati, are nearly gone. There is hope though, as some of Miyajima's red pines were genetically immune to the infestation and will eventually repopulate the island. At the top of Mount Misen is the island's largest iwakura, which is said to be where the kami, or god of Miyajima, sits, protecting the island from harm. Traditionally, the areas surrounding iwakura are cleared of debris and kept impeccably clean. In the past, these areas would have been delineated with a rope known as a shimenawa. These ropes are today often found tied directly to the iwakura, or around the trunks of large trees, or at the entrances of Shinto shrines. Shimenawa are also hung above entranceways during the new year, asking the gods for protection in the following year.
What's interesting about those same shimenawa ropes that were used to delineate spaces of Shinto worship was that they were later subsequently adopted into garden design in terms of manipulating branches on large niwaki or garden trees. Those same ropes would have been used to pull branches down or manipulate branches in one direction or the other. This was then adopted later into bonsai art and design, and of course nowadays we use wire for the same purpose, but it's interesting to see this evolution from Shintoism to modern day bonsai design. Beyond that relationship though between Shinto and bonsai, there's a deeper connection, I think, and that is this idea in Shintoism of genus loci, or spirit of place, meaning that there's a connection between us as humans and our natural surroundings. Bonsai as an art form is a true encapsulation of that idea. This notion of interacting with nature, and in bonsai art we do this on a daily basis through watering, through fertilization, through pruning, brings us closer to nature as human beings, and I feel closer to you as a human being as well. So this interconnectivity that bonsai brings in building a community and creating a natural connection between us and our natural surroundings is a beautiful thing. Hope you guys agree with that. I hope you guys like this video, and if you did, if you like the content in this particular episode, you can sign up for my online advanced course with Bonsai Empire. I'll put a link in the description down below. Also, we have a ton of new merch out right now, so if you like what we do, please go down to the link below and purchase some of our merch, and it'll ship directly to your door. That's going to do it though for this particular episode. So until next time, take care.